Namaste. My name is Shamser Thapa. I'm a solicitor from Sydney. I have been requested by dbsv Victoria to provide them with 2-minute video on domestic violence issues. First of all, I would like to thank dbsv for providing very useful information to the community or communities. When we talk about family violence or domestic violence, people think about men being the perpetrator and women being the victim. I mean, there is some misconception that domestic violence is committed only against the women, which is not true. In fact, men can be the victims of the domestic violence. People have a wrong perception because by nature, physically, men are stronger than women. That's why everybody think that men cannot be a victim. As you all know, domestic violence or family violence is violent, abusive, or intimidating behavior in a relationship. It happens between two or more family members who are in a very intimate or very close relationship. Domestic violence, it doesn't mean that it has to be physical. It can be emotional, it can be financial, social, or spiritual. So, if your loved ones is very controlling and he or she is abusive or violent against you, then you should come forward. It is very hard for the victims to speak up. You need to have lots of courage to report the violence to police or authorities because it is against your own person whom you love the most. If you do not come forward, then if you try to keep within yourself, then it may cause psychological, emotional traumas. Or whether you need to share with your friends or family members, or whether you should report to the police, whether it is better to be quiet, you got to make a decision which one suits you. However, having said that, you got to be mindful not to engage police for a minor issues just to give him or her lesson or thinking that you can withdraw the complaint letter. It can't happen because if you report to the police, then the matter will be initiated by the state or the government, the police. Then even if you want to withdraw the case, you cannot. So very important thing is to be careful whether you are a real victim of family violence, because I have seen so many cases where families have been destroyed because of the minor issues. Because once you make a report or once you involve the police, you are just the witness. You cannot withdraw or you cannot force the police to withdraw the charges. So you are just the witness. It doesn't mean that you should not call the police or should not seek the legal help. What I'm trying to tell is you got to decide whether the matter is serious enough, because sometimes we are all in feel stressed or we are having lot of pressures. Then we can argue, we can be very unfriendly, something like that. It doesn't mean that it's a domestic or family violence. However, if there is any physical abuse or sexual abuse, or emotional or psychological abuse, or if your partner or if your close relative tries to control you, or if there is any violence, then you should speak up, you should come forward, you should seek help. This is very important to understand what domestic violence is. As I said, as I spoke before, it can be psychological. I'm sorry that I have taken more than 2 minutes. I'll conclude now. And also, please note, this is not the legal advice. This is just for the information. Thank you very much. Bye.